Alright, so when we are taping an ankle, or what is known as a closed basket weave tape job, we have at least two landmarks we want to start with to look for. Right here where the gastrocnemius starts to blend into the Achilles tendon and the base of the fifth metatarsal. The book says you are supposed to come all the way up here with your pre-wrap. I never do that because, relax, every time you flex and extend, or dorsiflex and plantar flex your foot, the calf stretches out and it contracts, or expands and contracts, and that stretches out the tape up there. So I don't ever go that high. I usually find where it blends, where it starts to blend, and then go right to where the Achilles tendon becomes prominent. Many people I have seen will take the pre-wrap and go this way. That's perfectly acceptable. I have trouble doing that though, so I go the opposite way. So we find right where the Achilles tendon starts to become prominent, and we're just going to cover up the whole ankle with pre-wrap. So what you can do is you can kind of put the pre-wrap on like you would tape an ankle with your figure eights and heel locks. Just make sure that you cover up any holes, overlap by half to make sure we avoid those holes, because holes or wrinkly pre-wrap will cause a blister. So now moving on to the tape. Oops. So we put at least two proximal anchors. Proximal meaning closer to the midline, which would be his torso. And one distal anchor that is just in front of, or proximal to the base of the fifth metatarsal. It's okay if it goes over a little bit, but we don't want it all the way down here or it'll collapse the foot and cause pain. So the best way to do it is to think we want the tape to make an X right there. So how I start it, I come here, make sure I'm just about proximal to that base of the fifth metatarsal. And what I do is I turn that anchor into a figure eight. You don't have to, but I find that that's one less thing I have to do at the end. Now we do our stirrups and C-strips. Everything not always, everything in our circumstance right now is medial to lateral, meaning inside to outside, because 95% of the ankles you tape are going to be for a lateral ankle sprain. Medial to lateral, so inside to outside. We start with a stirrup. Then we do a C-strip. 3 stirrups, 3 C-strips alternating. That gives us the basket weave appearance. Then the third one. Okay. And our last one. So now we would close up our basket weave with figure eights and heel locks. So I'm going to do it just like the book does, where we don't do it continuously. We need 2 heel locks per side and 2 figure eights. We've already done one, so we only need one more. So what you do is you find the malleolus here. You take the bottom part of the tape and you cut it in half. The tape will go down around the heel and back up as you are locking the heel in place in a neutral position. So same thing over here. We will do another heel lock. The tape will start and stop in almost the exact same position for our heel locks. Another heel lock here. Pull Lock that into neutral. Last one here. And up. Then our last figure 8. So you start that in the same spot you would start your distal anchor. And there we go. The reason we do the figure 8s is to really force that last little bit of dorsiflexion in the ankle to protect the lateral ankle ligaments. Cover up the top here. Make sure there's no holes. There you go. One other thing you can try to think about too, when you're doing your heel locks and figure 8s, you want to leave the heel open so you can see it in the back. So there is a closed basket weave tape job.